Welcome to this edition of Local Business Spotlight. Presented by Grand Splash Marketing in association with 𝗏360GrandLake.com. This week, we travel to the South Grand Lake Regional Airport to meet with Brent Howard.
Brent Howard here, Manager and Chairman of the Airport Authority for South Grand Lake Airport. Well, the airport has a long history. Actually, I've got a picture of an airplane sitting on the ground in 1985, and you can see the grass and you can see cow patties sitting on the runway. So it was a very short runway, and there was like 4 pilots who liked to land their light aircraft here. And you know, there was no amenities at all. They had a windsock, and that was about it. And if they came in late at night, well, they'd radio ahead, and we'd get a couple of pickup trucks and put them on each end of the runway so they'd have lights to land by. And that continued for a long time. There were several efforts to generate funds to improve the airport, but there wasn't much community support for it because they didn't realize the importance of it. So it kind of died there. In 2005, a group of us were talking about improving the economic impact of the area, and we came upon the idea of an airport. So that's been a long history, but you know, we started off with paving a full mile of runway, 60 foot wide. Then we got runway lights, and then we built a terminal building so we'd have a place for pilots to come into, and then we developed hangar lots, and so then pilots saw the benefit of coming here, being close to the lake, and other features. So we started leasing hangars, and started off with 1, and then 3, and then 5, and this year we've leased 6 that will start construction pretty soon. So in the interim, airplanes need fuel, so we made arrangements to bring in a fuel farm. And we currently serve both jet and light aircraft, so we have 2 types of fuel. And so that brings in more traffic. We had some destination aircraft that will come, like we got one family that starts and stays in Florida, and they come to the lake to see their family, and then they go to New Hampshire for the rest of the year. So we do have some flyby. And then we have people who are on destination. We've had live flights come in and go into the hospital, picking up people to take to cancer center in Texas. So there's a whole plethora of things that take place. Part of the growth of the impact is from real estate. And I've seen on many occasions realtors take their car out of the ramp to meet an airplane. People get out, get in the car, and they go look for real estate. And they're buying it here because they're far away, but they got an airplane so they can fly in. One quick story, we had a couple flew in, unloading 4 little kids, just kind of stair-step, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went out to visit with them and found out they were from Omaha, Nebraska. And they said they had family here, but all their kids, they couldn't drive down here. So now that we had the airport, well, they were going to fly in routinely. And then ultimately they wound up buying a lake place here. So the airport facilitated that economic activity. The other thing I might mention is the improvements are ongoing. Every year we produce some type of improvement to the airport to make it more user-friendly. I mentioned that the airport's 60 foot wide, and starting in October we've got like a $4 million capital improvement that will take the airport a runway from 60 feet to 75 feet and a total overlay, which will make it even stronger. And currently we can handle most any of the smaller jets. So it's plenty good for that, but with extra strength in the runway, well, we could really take in some large jets if they come in. The other thing that's happened, we do this in 5-year increments, is that a parallel taxiway is a huge improvement for an airport, and we've got that in our capital improvement budget, and it's another $4 million. Asset-wise, it's pretty good for the community. We started off with 54 acres and had a value of about $108,000. Our balance sheet today is like just shy of $4 million. When we complete the runway expansion and overlay, it'll be $8 million. And when we get that parallel taxiway, it's going to go up to about 12 or 13 million. So those dollars invested, which are primarily from FAA grants, are providing more and more economic impact for the area. I say primarily from FAA grants because every time we make an improvement, the airport needs to raise 10%. So that $4 million runway improvement means that they expect us to come up with $400,000. And that's not a small piece of change. So the other thing about the airport that's so great is that the community has supported us. And so we have fundraisers and we have people who are regular sponsors of the airport because they see the value for them personally or have an interest in the lake improving. So that's what has enabled us to get to this point, because the airport per se doesn't really make any money. We have fuel sales and we lease hangar lots, but that basically takes care of our operating income expenses. You know, another important aspect of the airport is that we think about the public and to provide services. And it kind of works out to be a double deal, because if we bring people out here and provide them with events that they can enjoy at a very little or no cost, then that spreads the awareness of the airport, and therefore that spreads the word of what we do and also to potential people to come and use the airport. We have a very active schedule for public events. We're getting ready to put on Napa Nights on June 15th, and we'll probably have 200 or 300 people come. It's a wine tasting, heavy hors d'oeuvres, jazz trio, that type of thing. And then we also extend the opportunity to other entities, like the Chamber, for example, has their annual hook and cook-off out here every year. And that typically brings like 1,500 people. And then another thing real quick, the 4th of July, we have anywhere from 15 to 20 warbirds, vintage warbirds, the old T6s and helicopters and whatever. And that's open to the public. And so that typically will bring like around 2,000 people. And a lot of those are families with children looking for something to do. And they can come out and spend the day. We have food and pop and stuff if they want it. But basically they just get to come out to the airport and see those airplanes. So it provides some entertainment. You know, we have pancake breakfasts, we have hoedowns, we have all sorts of events. We'll have 5 or 6 a year, and they're all open to the public and very little cost. And so we're providing a community benefit, you know, in that regard. We have a flight school out here for people to learn to fly. And actually, the airport has come up with some money that we've donated for, and we just got through going through 5 different candidates to select a scholarship. And so that young lady, smart young lady, is going to be taking flight lessons out here. Well, with the flight school, a lot of people are interested and they never have flown before. So twice a year, we have a flight day. And people can come out and, you know, 2, 3 people at a time in an airplane. They can take a short ride out over the lake and the dam and back in and see what it's like. And those are really inexpensive. It's basically about $50, which covers the cost of the fuel for the airplane. Pilots donate their time, donate the airplane. It's all, you know, to promote aviation. The other thing that happens is that people are curious about the airport. They'd like to take a look at it. So anytime, of course, we have all these events, which the whole airport's open to be toured. but if someone is interested in the airport, you can call me at 918-693-1855. The other thing that we get comments on is, well, we'd kind of like to help the airport, and then it's tax time and we could use a donation or whatever. And by the way, we're a public trust, so any kind of donations that are made are tax deductible. But we have a really comprehensive website that's got pictures of airplanes that tells about the airport history, what we've done, what we're going to do, and that's www.southgrandlakeairport.com. So if you have some curiosity about the airport, why, I certainly encourage you to take a look at it.